Hello, in this video I am going to show you a brilliant hack in order to be able to use the new focal length extenders from Canon for the RF mounts, such as this 2x extender with literally every single lens that is out there with an EF mount. For example, the 70-300 I have right here. No problem. Don't believe me? There it is, and it works phenomenally and the image quality is superb. I will show you how you can make those two fit together because normally they don't, and also I will show you some sample photos and go through the image quality overall, things like focus distance, autofocus performance, image stabilization performance, and pretty much every single aspect that you might think of with regards to this setup. So let's get started. Ever since those extenders were originally announced, I was already thinking about whether I will be able to use them with my 70-300 because this lens is not compatible with the EF extenders, which is kind of a bummer. And I thought to myself that this kind of extender will be perfect to use with a mount adapter from RF to EF to hide this protruding barrel, and then I can fit on my 70-300 and it will be a perfect setup. And I was thinking about this, and then after these extenders finally came to the market, I actually asked on a couple of forums whether that would be a feasible solution, and people were like, no dude, absolutely not possible, it is never going to fit because this barrel is like too thick to fit in through the mount adapter, it is just not going to work, forget about it. And I kind of forgot about it, but then it kept echoing in my mind and I was thinking, maybe there is a way to fit into it because the mount adapter is literally just a hole, there's no glass elements inside. Maybe I could somehow enlarge this hole in order to be able to fit in this extender. And then I ran across an article online and some guy actually made it work. He used the 1.4x extender and he was able to make it work and mount pretty much any EF lens. So I was totally game. I thought, okay, let's go all in. Let's order the 2x extender, which I wasn't sure if it was going to fit because maybe the barrel is actually even thicker, but it is all right. And I will show you how you can actually do that, because when I got this extender it was no surprise that it actually did not fit through the standard RF to EF mount adapter from Canon. So the trick is to actually use a third-party mount adapter, such as this mount adapter from Comlight. Actually this one comes through very different brands depending on where you are in the world, so it might be Velo or Viltrox. I will leave some links down in the description for you guys if you want to pick up one of those mount adapters. Also there will be a link for the RF extender, both versions. If you want to pick any of these up and use my links, you will be helping the channel, so that would be much appreciated. So the problem is that this actually has a much larger hole inside, as you can see, compared to the original Canon adapter, but it was still too small in order to make those two fit. I mean, I could fit the barrel inside it, but I couldn't lock them in place. There's this bottom part which was protruding into the opening and I wasn't able to make a perfect fit. So the solution to that is to use a tool called a rounded file tool. This is a tool that is abrasive and is like rounded on one side but flat on the other side, and you can use this tool in order to scrape off some plastic from the extender. That's right, some DIY is required, but don't worry, anybody could do that. So just use a rounded file, use the rounded side of the file tool in order to make the opening bigger and bigger, and you need to do a couple of good strokes, actually plenty of them were necessary in order to make it fit. And while you are trying this out, do not try to force it. If it doesn't fit, just keep scraping and keep scraping. And one thing that you need to be careful about is to not damage the connectors on the mount adapter, because if you damage the connectors it may be impossible for the camera to communicate with the lens. So just be careful about the connectors and keep scraping until they fit, and they will, and then they fit together perfectly. And then with this mount adapter mounted on the extender, I can mount any lens that I want, especially my beloved 70-300, and I can mount this on the camera and it works perfectly on my Canon EOS R. When I connect it to the camera doesn't complain at all. It does not recalculate the focal length or the aperture. If you see the preview of your exposure, and also if you import your files into Lightroom, you will see the original focal length that you have set up in your lens and also the original aperture, but there will be information embedded in the EXIF that such an extender was used, so you can use that in order to distinguish between the files with the extender and the files shot without the extender. And you might think, how does it actually work on the camera? Is there any issue with the focusing? Does it focus on infinity? Yes, absolutely, it does focus on infinity. Check out this photo that I have taken of the moon. I shot this during Mars opposition and you can see both the moon and Mars in the same shot, and the image quality is superb to my eye. And also when it comes to the autofocus, it also works perfectly. I actually the other day went to a local airport and I was on this vantage point where airplanes were literally just flying above my head, and I was on the AF servo mode on my Canon EOS R, so the camera was constantly refocusing, and I have shot some amazing pictures using this mode. I have shot, I think, like a total of 400 images, and maybe like 3 or 4 of them were slightly misfocused. So the autofocus with this setup works perfectly, and if you worry about how the image stabilization is going to work if you use a lens with image stabilization, it is also flawless. Take a look at this shot. I actually shot this right here in my basement, so the shot is not very exciting, but take a look at this. I was using the extender and the focal length of 600mm, handheld at the exposure time of 1/20th of a second, and look how razor sharp this image is. It really is. I mean, it exceeded every single expectation that I had for this setup. The image quality is amazing, and of course it depends on what lens do you actually mount on this setup, because this lens is actually known to be very sharp and very good in terms of stabilization and autofocus. This is an L lens from Canon, the 70-300 f4 to 5.6 L IS USM. There will also be a link down below to this lens if you want to check that out. And take a look at these images of some wildlife that I was shooting. I was shooting some ducks nearby, and look how beautiful these images turned out to be. I am truly blown away by this setup. So again, if you're not worried about doing some kind of DIY work, which really is very easy, anybody could do that, you can have a very versatile setup that you can use with pretty much any lens, get superb image quality, autofocus, everything, all the bells and whistles. Highly recommended. But like I said, be careful about not damaging the connectors on the RF to EF mount adapters. Do it at your own risk, of course. So that's basically all I have for you for today. Definitely leave a like down below if you like this video. I would really appreciate it, and also consider subscribing to this channel, because next week I will be actually making a video about the inner mechanics and the science of focal length extenders. Why is it that the images taken with those extenders are getting darker? Because it actually is more interesting than you might think. So if you don't want to miss out on that video, definitely subscribe to my channel right now. And in the meantime, you can check out these 2 videos. These might be interesting to you as well. And like I said, that's it for now. See you next time, hopefully, and bye bye.